Well, so far there's been no indication that the Israeli government will back down on this intention to send the military into Rafah. It says that this is essential in order to wipe out the remnants of Hamas militants who are holed up there. It says that this is the only way to ensure Israel's security and to avoid a repetition of the October 7th attack into Israel that sparked this war. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister has insisted that a plan will be put in place that would evacuate the civilian population. However, as we have heard, there are around 1.5 million people in Rafah. They have been displaced from other places. It's very unclear where they would go. We also don't yet have a timeline. There has been continued airstrikes on Rafah, but there's also continued fighting on the ground to the north of Rafah in Khan Yunis, which is the Gaza Strip's second largest city, and even in central Gaza. This plan that will be put in place is supposed to evacuate the civilians. What the timeline is for the plan to be drawn up, for the civilians to be evacuated, and indeed where they would go, still remains very unclear.
And on the diplomatic front, US, Egyptian, Israeli and Qatari officials all expected to meet in Cairo. What can we expect out of that?
Now, the meeting in Cairo is for a ceasefire deal that would see the release of the hostages. There are still around 100 hostages believed to be still alive and still being held in the Gaza Strip. Now, we have been hearing from some Egyptian officials who say that there has been some progress being made. It's clear that there are still gaps between the two sides. What exactly the gap is, how big that is, what each side is still insisting on remains unclear, but there is hope that there would be some kind of a deal reached. Now, what appears to be on the table at the moment would be a 6-week ceasefire in order to see a release of the hostages. How long these talks might take and the distance between the two sides, we still don't know.